Not saying they weren't good magicians, they just didn't save the best trick for last.
And I believe that what's about to follow is really going to amaze.
Alright, now you see me. This was a really entertaining movie to start off with. You have Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg reunited, first time since Zombieland. You also have Ilsa Fisher, Michael Caine, and Morgan Freeman. So I mean, it's a pretty well-rounded cast. It also includes Mark Ruffalo and the chick from Inglourious Basterds. Despite all the technical trickery that often goes into show magic, the plot of this movie is actually surprisingly simple. 4 freelance magicians are recruited by a mysterious benefactor to put on shows in Vegas. But when one of their shows involves robbing a bank, they get into a lot of trouble with the FBI, and we move on from there.
Can you explain to me how you went from Las Vegas to Paris in 3 seconds?
Yeah, we do that. First rule of magic, always be the smartest guy in the room.
This movie definitely fits in with the sort of heist caper genre, along with things like Ocean's 11, The Italian Job. And in it, you do end up seeing a lot of genre cliches, like for example, the big trick being pulled off and then later on being explained exactly how they did it, and like the shots of the man on the inside, the technical tricks. So you get a lot of that in this movie.
So tonight,
we're gonna return some of that money back to you.
thank you everyone. Good night.
And on that note, easily the most entertaining and exciting parts of the movie have got to be the 4 Horsemen shows, which there are 3 of during the movie. Those are so well done, so well shot. The visuals are absolutely spectacular, and you really get a sense that you are at a top quality magic show. One problem I do have though is the fact that most of the movie is about debunking and figuring out exactly how the 4 Horsemen did so many of their tricks, yet they explain some of them but not all of them, so we're left with a really incomplete sort of knowledge of how they did all their different things, and that just kind of sits with you because you're thinking, okay, I know how they did this, this, and this, but how did they do this really big one?
Because the more you think you see, the easier it'll be to fool you.
Another 2 things that bugged me about this movie are 2 things I've ranted on about before. Subplots and unresolutions. And this was a very big problem in this movie. First, we get the love romantic subplot between Mark Ruffalo and the chick from Inglourious Basterds, and that is just so distracting and so unnecessary. I won't say the chemistry between the 2 is bad, it just felt like the scenes were forced, if not the acting between the 2. About halfway through the movie, we're introduced to the concept of the Eye, a sort of ancient secret society of magicians that recruits into their ranks regular stage musicians like the 4 Horsemen, and they somehow hold the key to real magic in this world. I don't have any problem with that as a part of the plot line, but the problem is that we never really see a full resolution of that concept. I will just put this in, that near the end we are kind of shown more about the Eye, but we never really see much more than that. You don't really see what the Eye truly is, what it's capable of, or who it is.
Is about to follow.
The third and really last big gripe I had about this movie was some of the camera work. In particular, during some of the action scenes, especially running and driving, you just get that really shaky Jason Bourne style camera work, except they took that to a whole new level where it's just jarring all over the place, and it's hard to really keep track of people, objects, and for some people who may get slight motion sickness, don't sit in the first few rows. The last 20 minutes of this movie, it starts to fall apart a little. You all of a sudden get the big character reveal twist to figure out who's behind it all. You get the big explanation of how all their tricks and their little heists were pulled off, and it just happens a little too suddenly, and just they try and resolve too many plot lines that were too weak to start off with, and they leave other things just completely unfinished. I know, that really bugged me about the movie, because for the rest of the movie I thoroughly enjoyed it. And don't get me wrong, I still think this is a great movie, but I do have to say that about this movie. So I definitely enjoyed that movie. And if you're a fan of that sort of Ocean's 11, Ocean's 13, or Italian Job sort of heist movies, go see this. This is actually a really fun movie to watch. And despite all my complaining, I really did like it. So my final verdict is a 7 out of 10. I was leaning towards a 6, but then I just realized I had so much fun throughout the rest of the movie that I couldn't let the very ending ruin it for me. So, did you guys like Now You See Me? let me know down in the comment section below. Also, let me know what else you want me to review in the future. Any movies in the summer you're particularly excited for? Comment down below. Otherwise, like, favorite, subscribe, and until next time, see ya!